What a Wednesday it is tonight, Sooner Nation. Welcome to the Sooner Surge. It's Bill Beatenbow's birthday, and what a great one it's been because he's probably landed, I wouldn't even say probably, Jay, the biggest fish in the sea of his recruiting experience. Michael Fasusi has committed to the University of Oklahoma. It's a great night to be a Sooner. It's always a great day to be a Sooner. It's a great night to be a Sooner tonight, and thanks for joining us here on the Sooner Surge.
Jeremy, you mentioned it. Bill Beatenbow, biggest, best get. He's got an offensive lineman. And this class, the last two classes are his best two at Oklahoma. And this is after everybody thought, should they go? Remember when Phil Lodeholt left? I don't know. Phil Lodeholt left Oklahoma. I don't know what Bill Beatenbow is going to do. Well, he's going to continue to develop, and now he's developing guys. You got two bookend tackles now. Ryan Foji, who will probably be a 5-star, and Michael Fasusi. And you know what I loved about the commitment today from Michael Fasusi? There was no putting on a Texas hat. There was no putting on an A&M hat and joking around. He went right to the truth. And that's Oklahoma. And that's where he's going to be playing. And I thought it was interesting. I think when I was watching it, it sounded like he said, I'm going to be spending the next 2 to 4 years. Yeah, he's that good, guys.
Hey, there's a lot of people, even in our chat, that have been very critical of Bill Beatenbow. He's kind of passed all the pundits who have been against him and said, yeah, watch this. But I will say this. For all the people who said that this guy was about the money, I don't know if you remember, Jay.
3 to 4 years, sorry.
I don't know if you remember, Jay, but I've been on here for a long time saying this guy's not about the money. He's not like that. And a lot of people said, oh, he's going to chase the money. He's going to chase the money. He's going to chase the money. Guess what? He's about culture. He's about this, what's happening at the University of Oklahoma. He hasn't been about chasing the money. I think he's getting paid greatly, but he is not about that. I loved what he said. I loved everything he said. And absolutely he got paid, Bobby. I just said that. I just said he got paid, but he's not all about that is what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, the two highest ranked offensive linemen in NFL preseason so far, two Oklahoma guys, Walter Rouse and Tyler Guyton off PFF, I believe. I don't – Bobby says BB can't recruit out. I'm confused on what that's supposed to say, Bobby. Sorry, I'm not quite sure. BB doing his job, hold my drink, watch me put O-Line Factory into session. That's right, Craig. Thanks for joining. What's up, N. Thurman? Happy birthday to Bill Beatenbow. I'm with you on this, Chief. I've said this.
It'll never happen.
Unless they're employees, it'll never happen. What's up, Braden? Because I agree, though. Just come out and say it. But Texas, I mean, I'm not seeing a whole lot of people saying Texas is broke. That's what they say when Oklahoma can't land, guys. Oklahoma's broke. Well, hey, guys, let me tell you something right now on Texas. Because I've had a lot of people talking to me specifically. I'm not talking about anyone in this chat. I'm talking about other people that talk to me, not this chat, that say, what's up with OU this year in recruiting, going down the list of guys they didn't get. Let me tell you something. The top 5 players out of the state of Texas, there's only one left, and that's Jonah Williams. If he doesn't choose Texas, the top 5 players from the state of Texas, not one of them went to Texas. Not zero. None of them went to Texas. If that was an Oklahoma thing, Oklahoma would be getting bashed nationally about not letting in-state kids. Texas has not landed a top 5 recruit out of the state of Texas. That's a problem, is it not, for Texas?
It is, Jay. But, Jay, I don't care. I don't care about Texas with OU, but I agree everything what Chuck said. Yes, he's getting paid. Whether or not that was the sole reason doesn't really matter. But yeah, Oklahoma is not for Oklahoma, Bomb. You're correct. They're not in this one. They're paying. But Jay, I think that Fasusi is last year's Stone, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
what was that?
That was the end game. David Stone. Anyway, never mind. Hey,
I think he's last year's David Stone.
I think it is, but here's my only thing, and I wish you can't go back, this is where I'm going with my question. Now that he has recruited Lamont Rogers, come on down to Oklahoma, right? Can they get a flip now from somebody? Now Babalola has not committed yet. Everyone thinks
Ron Brown's been talking about Williams Winery for a long time.
Yeah, and Colin says EPL, Fasusi, Akankumi. Hey, Colin, you forgot two guys. Ryan Foji, Eugene Brooks.
Logan Howland, Jay.
I mean, I'm just saying some of the youngsters, Jeremy. I mean, guys, the Jonah Williams things, I don't think there's any chance.
No, and let's just talk about Fasusi. 6'5", almost 300 pounds already, okay?
By the way, the guy I watched the live with today, I can't remember who was filming for Michael Fasusi. He goes, they need to get that size right. He's actually 6'6", but.
Yeah, I agree, Chuck, with everything he said. This dude is so happy to be at the University of Oklahoma. And just think about the future of this O-line, the future of these quarterbacks. They're building something special. If the defense can continue, there's a couple of guys they still need to get on defense, Jay, in 2026. And 20, like if they can add a couple of guys on that defensive side, you're building something super big.
Yeah, that's a funny comment, Chester. That's a good one. Yeah, the quarterbacks for the OU future is going to have a loaded offensive line, and so are the running backs. I mean, guys, Taylor Tatum, let's not forget, pretty much 5-star, okay, but playing behind some of these guys that he's going to be playing behind, and the quarterbacks is going to be protected. Michael Fasusi, go watch his freaking film. The guy destroys people, and he doesn't destroy them and then move on. He destroys them and then finishes them. He's the finisher, dude. That's what he is. He's the finisher.
Sooner Freak called it. Sooner Freak was at 100%. Said he knew him, and he says he's 308 pounds of muscle.
How much? I would like people to wonder too. I'm in the chat here. How much of an part did the teammate play in this that OU got?
There's some people maybe that are going to say he was a massive part. I just think it was all about it was all about what he felt when he came to OU. Other visits couldn't compare to what he felt at OU. Everything across the board with the coaches.
Hey, Jerm, what was Anton Harrison? What was his star rating? Do you remember?
3 or 4.
And Lane Johnson wasn't even recruited as an O-lineman. When you look at this guy as far as a left tackle, he is the protege NFL left tackle, right?
Yeah, Jay, he's exactly what you want.
I agree. I think it was a lot of things. And Sooner Freak says this, and I agree 100%. I do think that played a huge role. And this is what kind of baffles me. And it doesn't just baffle me. Yeah, hey, Therese, horns up. I'll say horns down. Lost another one today. As far as a recruit. A lot of people talk about Brent Venables. And when they lose out on guys, you'll hear people say, well, money, whatever it is. You never hear people really praising him for the culture he's building when they get guys. And he's gotten a lot of guys off the family, soul mission, that type of culture. He's gotten a lot of guys because of that. Now, you might say maybe he loses guys because they don't like the commitment policy, whatever. But he's gotten a lot of guys because of the culture part of it. And I don't think people talk about that enough.
Yeah, PD, I know Hunter's running the chat right now. If Hunter wants to join,
hey, Topher, real quick. The reason there's Longhorn peoples in our chats and other people's OU chats, Texas doesn't do many live shows right now. Nothing to talk about.
Not just that, we're on every night. I don't know that there's many college football team podcasts or YouTube channels that are on every night. And listen, I don't say that to say, hey, Great job, Jay. Great job, Hunter. Great job, Jeremy. I say that to say it's because there's so many of you guys in the chat every single time. So we keep doing it. It is in the direction that you want to go, Eric. You can't have a horrible year and expect things to keep going this way. But I think the ship is you got the people you want on the ship and in the boat. Everyone seems to be rowing the correct way. And now it's about getting it moving quickly and not letting anything sway it or get it off track.
Hey, Charisse, real quick. I love that you're on here. I love it when Hook 'em Horns joins us. I love all the Texas people that join. It makes good conversation. And give me the record again for the last 10 years. I can't remember off the top of my head. What was the last 10 years? Do you know, Jeremy?
No.
Okay, it's pretty good. Oklahoma's record.
Chief, I'm gonna say thank you. Thank you, Chief T-Bird, for giving us a super. You do this so often.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Do that. Hey, we show all comments. It's not about who gives a super, but we will definitely recognize those who do. And Chief is one who always is one who will reach out and donate to our channel. And we do appreciate you, Chief. I do have to apologize. I was not able to make it to my dad's to get the trumpet. Now, maybe I can rap some tonight for y'all. Make it up to you.
15-0, Tyler said. I'm not sure what that's in regards to. And I'm not going to deny that's a fact. Texas leads the overall series. But, hey, you know what? I would love for an OU-Texas national championship game. I think it would be awesome one of these years down the road.
Oh, absolutely.
Wouldn't that be great? I think it'd be great. You know what I was thinking about today? Watching Michael Fasusi just dominate people in high school, thinking, man, this guy's going to be an unbelievable player at Oklahoma. Kind of forgot about somebody a little bit. Didn't you? A little bit?
Yeah, I know you're talking about, Jay.
Caden Green, the so-called going to play all left tackle at Missouri. For some reason, he's back to playing guard. Well, OU just got their tackle for the next 4 years. So I kind of forgot about him a little bit.
He's got everything. Michael Fasusi has everything you want. Absolutely.
Hey, and PD, go for it. Go for it.
I just know this.
Go for it.
I'll just say this, PD. If you start your own podcast, kudos. Just know it takes commitment and consistency, and just keep after it. We do this for fun. Appreciate it. You guys that are on here. I saw Selene on here. Selene says there's several factors that impact the player's decision.
Right.
That is right. And I'm happy to report that I think in Fasusi's case, the coaches, the relationships may have been more meaningful than what he got paid. However, he did get paid.
And, hey, I can admit facts and I can admit struggles. Listen, that's not good, Therese. You're right. OU has not won a national championship in 24 years. That's right. And
I didn't say they had.
Texas won, right?
Correct.
But they do have one. That's for sure. I don't want to get in an OU Texas bat.
No need.
Tonight. Really don't.
Why would we do that? OU.
Here's the real truth. The real truth is this. I'll just say it. Texas fans thought tonight was going to be their Christmas night.
Absolutely.
2 months ago, Texas fans thought, man, this is going to be the night, August 21st. We're going to get to celebrate one of the biggest. A guy that lives and plays 20 miles outside of Dallas. He's going to come to Texas. Well, he chose to go to Oklahoma, and now they're having to get in Oklahoma chats to talk about him. So,
Crystal dropping a super. Crystal's also someone who really donates to our YouTube channel, and we appreciate you, Crystal. And Crystal's dropping something fiery here. After evaluating USC's schedule, Crystal has come to this one conclusion. Wait for it. Lincoln Riley is getting fired. I'm not going to go there because I actually think their schedule's one of the easier ones in the Big Ten. But if he doesn't have a good year, I'll say this. He will leave before he gets fired. He's not getting fired. He will go elsewhere.
Crystal, thanks for the super. We do appreciate it big time. You and Chief are dropping those supers in. I'm kind of torn on USC this year. In one way, I look at it, I think they're going to struggle. But then you look at their schedule, and they don't have Ohio State and Oregon, and all the tough teams are at home. You're sitting there thinking maybe they could. And then you hear Joe Klott think that Miller Moss is the next great quarterback. So,
yeah, I mean, it's not a horribly difficult schedule. Maybe that's the point. If they have a bad year with this schedule, yikes, that's kind of bad. Name that Colin hasn't heard is Wyatt Gilmore.
I haven't either.
Have not either, and I think it's because it's just very, very, very deep. And to get to his name, there's going to have to be other things happen.
Yeah, I would kind of agree. Yeah, I don't want to get easy schedule, Bobby says, and that's what I'm saying. They do have a particularly easy schedule when you talk about Big Ten. Did you hear Joel Klatt today? What'd you think about him?
I didn't hear it. Tell me.
Talking about OU, he's sitting there looking at everyone talks about their schedule, but then he's sitting there thinking it's Oklahoma. Oklahoma is Oklahoma, a premium program. Oklahoma should be in the playoff. That should be every year. Otherwise, if you're not in the playoff, then you're basically saying you're not a top-tier SEC team because you're going to get 4 to 5 SEC teams in the playoff. I agree 100%. Hey, Therese, you're right. I'm not going to get in an argument. You're right about that. That's a fact.
Who cares?
Hey, that's a fact.
Who cares when the most recent one was anyway?
I don't really care. We'll see what happens this year.
You don't win it, you don't win it.
All I'm saying is Texas. Hunter, can you drop where Texas is ranked recruiting right now in the standings? I'm trying to compare just SEC teams right now, kind of where they're ranked.
Hey, and there's also with Selene, I want maybe Hunter can drop it in there, but the time frame difference between commit date, which really can be any commit date you want, you set that as the player, Selene. Signing dates in February. There's also early signing.
So Texas is at 13 composite, Eric, and then I think OU's at 8 composite right now. Is that correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong. I'm going off the top of my head. But I'm going composite rankings. Texas 14th. What's Hunter? I mean, what's OU?
OU's going to get a top 8 class now. They're going to be in the top 8 this year, Jay, which is amazing. Again, what BV and company is doing.
Well, let's talk about this. OU, they need to land Christian Jones at linebacker. I would love for OU to land him out of Nebraska, over Nebraska, and get him. Is there a chance Lamont Rogers or somebody flips down the stretch?
There's always a chance.
Yeah, but do you think there's a good chance they could get another lineman? Or Babaloa, for instance?
I think there's a chance they can get a good lineman because of now everything that's happened. And look, if someone's unhappy where they've committed to or word gets out that, man, what OU is doing is phenomenal, you just never know, Jay.
Wow, that's a great question by Chief. If you guys could flip one player in this recruiting class, who would you pick to come to Norman? Ooh.
Defensive lineman, Jay.
Yeah, he's asking who, Jeremy? Who would you pick?
There'd be a few, I guess, but Foji, I think, is going to be as close to a 5-star as you could get. Maybe
I think he'll be a 5-star. I think he'll be a 5-star. Hey, Ty Haywood, where's he from? High school. What state?
Southeast somewhere.
What state, Jeremy?
Huh? Alabama, isn't he?
No, Texas.
He's going to Bama.
He's going to Bama. He's from Texas. They didn't land him. Didn't land Fasusi.
Correct.
These guys are Haywood and Fasusi are like two guys playing in Edmond and not going to Oklahoma.
Jay, I don't know what Jay. I don't know what happened. They could have had an unbelievable class at Texas, and they're starting to lose guys.
My thing is,
and I'm all in.
My thing is, nationally, I'm not hearing as much people talk about it, but it's
like
those players are in your backyard. You got to land them. Yeah, Lamont.
You know what it's kind of like? You know what it's kind of like? I know you guys don't want to see this. It's like this TikTok trend, Jay, where everyone's saying, show me the money and celebrating, and then someone at the end gets totally left out, joked with, left in the dust. That's Texas on these guys.
Hey, Hunter.
They thought they were all with it.
Hunter, I get what you're saying. It's different, but it's also not. If you grow up 20 miles outside of Dallas, I mean, Texas is the premier program in Texas, are they not, Hunter?
Correct. And Jay, what Mark is saying is right. There's so many guys in Texas, there's no way they land them all. I get them all.
You got to get some of the top players, though. Right?
Yes.
And this is why Oklahoma will never be, this is to call them coward. Oklahoma will never be the Nebraska because they get guys from Texas. They don't just get guys from Oklahoma. Okay?
Correct. Absolutely correct.
Texas is a flagship school. That's right.
Hey, Surgeaholics, one of the two things that's happened right now. Are you guys listening right now? Thanks for being on here. Listen to this. We've all been talking about Fasusi on here every single night at 9:30. If you're just joining us, we're on here every night at 9:30. We've been talking about Fasusi for a few weeks. Our percentage, play the percentage, has been rising. There's one other thing we're ready to make happen, and that's the Malcolm Kelly rap, Jay. It's the Malcolm Kelly rap.
Hey,
Daniel Brooks. Thank you, Daniel Brooks, for this super. I am so appreciative.
Thanks, Daniel.
And listen, let's read Daniel's comment here.
Appreciate it.
All right. I'm tired of these pundits and analysts doubting OU. For almost 100 years, we have been one of the standard programs from coaching to players to championships. What the heck is the difference now? Truly mind-blowing. Daniel, I'm with you. Listen, Daniel, I've been called a sunshine pumper many times. I am not a sunshine pumper. I'm a realist. I call it like it is. I'm just a fan. I'm not a pundit. I'm not an insider. But this is Oklahoma, guys. This is Oklahoma. And what is happening right now with Brent Venables in the recruiting world and Emmett Jones and Bill Beatenbow and Brandon Hall, and we can keep going down the line, is they're landing guys. And it's not just about the money. It's about the culture. It's about what's happening here at this program. And I'm not going to apologize for getting excited tonight, guys.
Hey, and Daniel, thanks so much for the super. We appreciate it big time. It means a lot. Thanks for the support. Where's Mike Fasusi play high school ball again, Jeremy?
It's Louisville, correct?
Correct. Right outside of Texas. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not
right outside of Texas.
Right outside of Dallas. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to get into this.
I'm not going to get into what, Jay?
Just
say it.
Nothing. I'm going to move on. Nothing. Some of the stuff I'm seeing in the chat. I'm not going to get into Texas back because Texas is right now. OU ruined their night. Okay, Michael Fasusi ruined their day, and now they're trying to rain on the parade of Oklahoma enjoying the commitment. Not going to happen. So,
hey, Jay, here's the deal. Let's just, call it like it is. You know, I was kind of high on Fasusi months ago. Yeah. And if you go back and maybe I can find that live where I talked about specifically that, I'm just not sold that he's all about the money. Now, I don't know all the details because I've said I'm not a pundit. I'm not an insider. But when he stepped on campus, I think he started comparing everyone else to OU as far as just what they were offering as far as culture-wise. And again, that's an umbrella term that people don't like to hear, but it goes a long way. When the culture's right, when things are building, when the ship is going in the right direction, people want to get on board. And that's what's happening. This ship is growing. There's more people outside that are wanting to be a part of it.
Chris,
he's special. Hey, let's not hide from this though, Surgeaholics. You've got to go win games this year, and you got to win big games.
I agree.
You've got momentum. You're in the SEC. Everything is building. It is time right now to put up in the SEC and show people this is Oklahoma. You cannot lose these close games. You've got to be physical, have that mindset, and you got to go show the SEC that we are here to stay.
And Crystal's right. And listen, Crystal, I do. If Texas fans want to, whatever fans want to get on here and bash OU, they haven't won anything. Fact. It's true. They haven't won a national championship in 24 years. So, I mean, it is a fact. So if people want to do that, I understand you can doubt OU. People can doubt OU. And there's a lot of even OU fans that are probably hesitant to be all in right now until they see it. And we talked about this before. Oklahoma, for the last 3 years, has been selling one thing, and that is we're moving to the SEC, okay? And until they now are in the SEC, they can't sell it anymore now, Jeremy. They have to win. If they don't win, they've sold a false – you can't sell it anymore. You're in the SEC. Next year, you can't say, well, we're moving to the SEC. No, you got to go out there and say, look what we did in our first year in the SEC. We went 9-3 and made a college football playoff. If you're going to tell recruits next year after 1 year, 7-5, it was our first year in the SEC, we'll be better. At some point, it's going to start backfiring on you. It's going to start backfiring. You can't sell a false sense of winning in the SEC. You can only sell winning when you're SEC. Go look at the teams in the SEC that are any good and mean anything at all. Alabama, Georgia. Do I even need to go further? LSU.
No,
maybe.
You're there. That's
maybe
it.
LSU. Other than that, Ole Miss, Missouri, they haven't won a dang thing, okay? And in recruiting, go look at their rankings. I mean, they would have to have – Missouri had a good recruiting year because they won in the SEC. You are not going to have good recruiting years at Oklahoma if you go out there and throw a 7-5 season this year. I don't think it would happen. You got to win, baby. Just win.
Boys getting quiet. Gonna get crunk. Head back to Longview. Kelly popping trunk.
Wow, that was short.
That's got to get it. That's got to get in the Palace on the Prairie, Jay. Let's make it happen.
And Sooner Freak, you're not wrong on this because take away last year, there's not a whole lot to talk about with Texas. Ron asked, what about 8-4? I'm not happy with 8-4, Ron. Personally, okay? And you know why I'm not happy? Kind of like what Joel Klatt said. OU, would they be happy being a 5th or 6th ranked team in the SEC? OU didn't go to the SEC to be 5th or 6th.
Jay, go back to what Daniel Brooks just said in the Super earlier. If you're an OU fan, and I know there's been people that even I've heard people within say, OU 8-4, and you guys should be happy this year. It's the first year in the SEC. That is hogwash. I don't care what conference OU's in. I'm not going to be happy with 8-4. For one, I don't think that's even realistic. Now, it could happen.
What do you mean it's realistic? Wait, what do you mean it's not realistic?
For Sooner fans to be happy with that.
Oh, I thought you meant for them to go 8-4.
I would question your fandom if you're happy at 8-4. And I know Sooner Legend said we should have him on. Listen, you know what's around the corner. We did it once. Eric called in. Eric was great when he called in. When we get to the pregame and postgame lives, we all have live call-ins. If you want to call and talk to us on here, it's coming around the corner. Also, Steve Stutzman, every Sunday night during football season, going to be on here with us on our lives at 9:30, right up on this Sunday. It's going to be great, okay? It's going to be amazing.
Do you know the answer to this trivia?
Ask it.
Who is the OU sack leader to this date? Are you talking about career sack leader?
Man, I don't know the answer, Jay. I have some guesses.
You have to ask are you asking for career sack leader? Bobby says, personally not happy with anything less than 10-2. And I don't think he's that wrong there. I mean, fandom-wise, I'm with you.
Hey, listen, I don't think Sooner fans are underestimating the difficulty. Stop what, Jay?
That comment there, it kind of rubs me the wrong way a little bit.
Because here's why it rubs me the wrong way.
Here's what let me finish. I understand that the schedule's difficult. We've all talked about it. But for OU to lose more than 2 games that means, say you lost to Alabama and LSU. Every other team on that schedule, you would say, oh, you should beat in a normal year, correct?
Correct.
And Tennessee's at home. That's your next toughest game. Ole Miss is on the road, Missouri on the road. But any other year, other than last year, what Ole Miss did, any other year, you wouldn't be thinking about Ole Miss being a real, just, they're going to be a not favorite.
No, and Ron, I don't know what happened to Jay.
What do you mean?
Was it me or you? Your screen went off.
I don't know. And I know they lost to OSU and Kansas last year, and that was awful. Awful. Can't happen anymore.
Arizona, they lost 2-2, but that was a top 15 program, and they had a few guys out. I'm not going to talk about last year. I'm talking about this year. And Ron, I love that you're on here every night. Absolutely love it. You're one of the OGs on here. But to say 8-4 and BB gets a raise is ridiculous. He better not at 8-4.
Can you honestly say you're not concerned about the O-line? I am. What's the word? Would it be a concern? I don't know. I think it's more of that. It's a mystery to me. I think seeing what Bill Beatonbo's done with some O-lines before, I think they could be good. Also, I think if they don't figure out a starting five, they could be really bad and not figure it out until late in the year, and that's too late. And that would be a bad season.
And I'm also going to say this, and people are going to take this the wrong way, but I need to go back to Selene's comment earlier. It was great. It had 3 or 4 points about celebrate, play it out, plan, prepare, all those things. That was a great point, Selene. But listen, is it me, Jay? But when you're in the SEC, I've already heard it from some of the players and coaches. There is zero excuse for the University of Oklahoma losing to OSU and Kansas.
Agreed.
Zero excuse. However, they did. And I think that playing in the SEC is actually, there's times in life, ladies and gentlemen, when you have to be all locked in. When are you locked in more? Times in my life that I've been totally locked in on things, it's when I know the pressure is there and I can't afford to take a breather, to breathe a little bit and relax. I've got to go, be locked in. I think with OU in the SEC, there's going to be less opportunity for them to say, maybe get the big head and think, well, we can kind of relax this week. That you just can't. That's when you're at your best.
Yeah. So you're saying they might have slipped up because they were looking ahead.
And that's a horrible excuse, Jay, but we're talking about 18 to 21, 22-year-old kids who at some point they read headlines, and they could read them this year, but when they're going on the road to Ole Miss and Missouri, you can't afford, when you're going in a dogfight, to let your guard down, Jay.
Yeah, and hey, Big Ball, thanks for joining tonight. Good to have you back on here. Hey, if you go back to a few years ago, I mean, I've been in SEC country, and I feel like, let's see if I can put this the right way, but Oklahoma fans, before they joined the SEC, what was Oklahoma fans' responses to the SEC as far as the depth and the teams in the SEC? What was their complaint?
OU's complaint?
All the OU fans were like, oh, it's top heavy. It's not that great of a league. I feel like the OU fans, a lot of OU fans are already putting out excuses like, well, tough schedule. Guys, nobody 2 years ago would have said anything about this schedule that Oklahoma has. They would have said, oh, you should go in there and win those games. I feel like I almost feel like the excuses are already starting. Like, well, if they go 8-4, 7-5, it's just a killer schedule. It's Oklahoma, guys.
Absolutely.
And Oklahoma Sooner football. This is not finish 6th in the SEC and be happy. It's not lose to Ole Miss. And well, they're a good team, guys. That's a tough game. Nobody would have thought that was a tough game 3 years ago. And yeah, don't get me wrong. Ole Miss has gotten better. But I think you got to look at a couple things. OU now 3 years in a row has had really good recruiting classes. At what point are fans going to think, okay, throw away the excuses now? OU's had good recruiting, great recruiting classes for 3 years, top 5, top 7. Here's the thing, and this may step on people's toes, but if OU doesn't put it together this year and next year, I think that there's only one thing that you could say. At that point, if they have 2 bad years to start out the SEC, I don't know if they have the right coach.
Well, that's absolutely facts. Charisse, I just gotta say thanks for being on here. But when Quinn Ewers wakes up for his dream, let me know. Wakes up from his dream, because he already lived the nightmare last year against OU. And Stutzman and company all let him know. And I think those could haunt him as this game comes. But I can't wait for the Red River rivalry. I've got to get to Bobby's question, because Bobby asked about the breakdown. I have not seen it, Jay. He talked about him giving their depth chart breakdown again. And he talked about Jaden Jackson possibly over Dejon Terry. I don't think it's happening. Dejon Terry has proven himself. I think Dejon Terry is going to be the starter. I think Jaden Jackson plays a lot. But again, Bobby, I think in the defensive line, the interior and the exterior on the edges, I just think that they're going to play a lot of guys, and that's what I want.
Yeah, I was trying to find a comment.
And Dalpois, I've got to get to Dalpois' comment about Ole Miss and Missouri about how they're above where they normally are. And here's a fact, everyone on here tonight. Here's an absolute fact. And I won't say absolute, because I don't like it when people say that, but I think this is a great take, Jay. You ready for it? Missouri, everyone listen. Missouri and Ole Miss, you're right, Dalpois, they are above where they normally are, which is still below the University of Oklahoma. They have not come up to that level, in my opinion. They're not branded at that level yet. Yeah, they've risen. But they haven't reached OU's level in the national scheme of things.
Here's my thing. If Missouri can do what they did last year in the SEC, OU should be able to do that in the SEC.
Absolutely, Jay. But here's the deal. But you've got to do it now. You've got to do it.
Hey, Big Orange, Tennessee is, we're here talking about Michael Fasusi tonight and OU getting him. Tennessee's tearing it up in recruiting. And when I saw those numbers earlier, when they put ratings out there, and the top 7 or 8 teams are all SEC. SEC's dominating football, and they're going to continue to dominate football. We have D-line dogs now. Eric, I hear the same thing. So I think, is it one of those things you're hearing it so much that it's true, or you're hearing it so much that you may not play at all? I don't know which one it is. I think he's probably going to start too, though, by hearing everything.
Here's what I'll say about Tarquin. That I'm just going to say some things I like. I don't know if he's the answer at left tackle, but here's what I know. Dude's big. He's 6'6", 320 or so. He's played at 2 really, really prominent universities. And I think now he's with the best coach he's ever had. I'm going to put those ingredients together. I'm going to stir them all up. And I hope it spits out an amazing left tackle this year. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with this, Bob. He looks really good. I think he's probably going to be day one. Now, we'll see. Bill Beatembo typically doesn't play.
What's Hunter? Drop his size in. Wait, drop Tarquin's size in. I thought he was close to 6'6", 320. He's bigger than 305, isn't he? Okay, I was almost spot on. He's 6'6", 317. I was 3 pounds off and 1 inch off.
Germinator Cooking Show.
On that new lack, watch the truck crank. Let me sit sideways. See me run it back. Maybe AP, maybe AD. I ain't even tripping. How about that, Jay?
Because we some athletes. That's what you got.
We some athletes.
You got to finish it off, bro.
Messing with Schmitty in the summertime. He gets ticked when we don't make our time. That's my rap voice. That's all I got, guys.
I got a trivia question tonight.
Do that and talk about the Fan Stop. Amazing people there, Jay.
Fanstop.com. Check them out. Great shirts, great gear. It's not just shirts. They got hoodies, they got jackets, all of it. But go check them out. www.thefanstop.com. Make sure you sign up for the shirt of the month. Use code SURGE. You'll get 10% off your first 3 months. Great stuff. Here we go, Jerm. You've been doing the rap. Let's do that rap. We could do the whole thing if we wanted to. But here's a trivia question. Name the coaches that were mentioned in the rap.
There's 2, Jay.
There's 2. No, there's 3.
Oh, there is 3. You're correct. They
There's
all
3.
start with the same letter, Jay.
That rap needs to go away, Jay Johnson says.
I won't apologize for it. There's
Schmitty is 1. Eric gets 1 point. He was the first one to get Schmitty.
Chief.
Sumlin. Who said Sumlin first? It looks like N. Thurman.
Thurman, and then Chief gets Stoops.
Chiefs gets Stoops. 3 coaches in there.
Wow, Sumlin, man. You talk about falling off.
Where's he at now?
I don't even know, Jay. Don't even know. And Chief, I'm going to apologize again. It's a long day today. I was not able to get all the way to my dad's house to where my trumpet is in the attic. The trumpet will be here. I will play the Hey song for you just to demonstrate for Colin and all the others that are on here that the Hey song is not it. It's not the one that's going to punch. Guys, I promise you. And kudos to Eric. Okay? Kudos to Eric. Because this is Eric's idea. If 85,000 people are rapping Malcolm Kelly's rap, one, you can't even beat that. It's so unique to the University of Oklahoma. It's unbelievable.
What I was thinking this day, what if you did the freestyle rap? Oh, he's at Maryland now.
Maryland, I did not know
Daniel.
that.
Thanks. Appreciate that. Hey, what if you did the rap straight into Hell's Bells?
Oh, I just got goosebumps, man.
Did you? I did too, man.
If you do the rap straight into Hell's
right when the last note of the rap hits, it's Hell's Bells. I'd be down.
That would be great, man. That would be great.
I'd be down with that. You know what? Yeah, I'm not even
gonna.
After every win, we could play. Hey, the Jimmy Trumpet Narco song's pretty good. The Mets closer plays it. I like it.
I don't know if I can play that one, Jay. I need some.
No, but do you like that song as a hype song?
I think it's a cool thing.
Hey,
Crystal.
That's right.
Crystal.
We do not cuss.
I gotta say this, Crystal. I thank you that you say that on here, where you say it's rare to hear a person yell like German never cuss. We try. This is we think family-friendly show. I don't know if there's any kids that watch or teens or whatever, but you just don't need language to get a point across. Well, I think I yell enough. I don't need to.
Well, and if you're in the Discord, a little plug here. If you're not in the Discord, get in the Discord. You're going to want to be in Discord on game days. Promise you. But the link is in the description. You can join the Sooner Surge Unlimited membership. You can be in the Discord. But I dropped a picture of a shirt, Jeremy, for you that you need to get. It says,
I saw it.
It says, I'm not yelling. This is the way I talk. I think it'd be a great shirt for you.
It would be, Jay. Great question here. And you're right, Eric. This court has been fire. Eric, you're one of the
most of them because of all those guys in there.
Eric and Grey God and all you guys, Chief, Outpost, everyone that's in there. Steven, I'm going to leave someone off so I can't keep going. But I'm going to answer Grey God's question about the SEC tiebreakers. First, I'm glad we got him. We didn't have to wait till the day before a tiebreaker could happen. So that's great. Hunter is doing so well running the chat and also dropping in on the chat, the tiebreakers. Head-to-head competition between the tied teams. B, record versus all common conference opponents among the tied teams. C, record against highest or best placed common opponents in the conferences. Standings and proceeding through the standings among the tied teams. D, cumulative conference winning percentage. among the Tide teams. E, capped relative scoring margin. And you can go all this. I just think it's funny that at the very end, F, random drawing of the Tide teams. There's no way it's ever going to get to that. But the fact that they have a reason there shows that the SEC is so much better than the Big 12.
Jerm, you say they're not going to ever have that. They almost had it in the Big 12 last year. I hate that. Random draw of the Tide teams. I hate that.
Jay, there's no – these are much more detailed than the Big 12s.
I agree they're much more detailed. But
the chances of that happening slim to none.
What's up, Wamblero? What's up, Stubby? Wamblero from Japan, Stubby. What a day getting Fasusi, man. So unbelievable. It's weird. I think Eric said it in the Discord today, and maybe Dalpo's, some other people said it, but this is probably the best I felt on a recommitment day about a 5-star, maybe ever. There was like no – and kudos – I'll say kudos to all the insiders because pretty much all of them said OU, and it was OU. But there was never really a – I don't know. Is he going to flip last minute? I don't know what it was, just a calmness. And I think it was partially because of all the insiders. And maybe it's part of it his recruitment. It wasn't as – I don't think it was as wild as some other ones. It didn't seem like. I know people had talked about earlier, maybe a couple months ago, Bobby and some people had said it's going to come down last minute. They're going to throw a bag at him. Something happened. To me, something happened last week. And when all the insiders came out, maybe he said, it's over. Stop coming at me with offers. I've made my decision.
Well, I'm going to close it with a little last minute, just straight from the heart here, guys.
Yeah. The heart's the best.
Here's what I'm going to say, Surgeaholics. OU's been waiting for this. OU deserves this. And I'm going to say, look, what all has been happening at the University of Oklahoma with the move to the SEC, a lot of Sooner fans worried about recruiting and how things are going to pan out. I think this is a little, feather in the cap for BV and company. It's definitely a feather in the cap for Bill Beatenbow because he's been kind of run through the gamut about things. Yes, BB deserves this. And you know that now, as I've used this analogy a lot, Surgeaholics, everyone on this boat, they're rowing the right way. I think the people that are no longer on the boat were off for the right reasons. And we can say that Levy and Roof and whoever else you want to throw in there, they have everyone they want. And this ship is sailing very quickly down the ocean. And I don't see a storm coming except for the SEC schedule. It's all there. But when you're in a storm, you've got to have your guys all bought in. I think that's what BB does. And Eric, I want to say this. It was all positive tonight. There wasn't a whole lot to be negative. But that doesn't mean we won't be negative tomorrow night because here on the Sooner Surge, we're real. We're genuine. And we bring it every night, as do you, our viewers.
Hey, I just want to say I want to ask one question as we close here. And you can put the answer in the chat as we close. And Bill Beatenbow's last 2 years have been his best 2 years recruiting. Is there any chance they land Fasusi or EPA if they're not moving to the SEC?
Hey, it would be difficult. I think this is a major reason.
I think SEC plays a big part lately in getting some of these recruits. I don't think you can beat around the bush about it. It's a fact. You're in the SEC. Now you got to go win. You got to go win.
That's exactly right, Jay.
And OU's going to go two ways. They're going to win and catapult up to be Alabama and Georgia and be just like those two schools, I think, if you win. If you don't win, I think you go the other direction and it's hard to recover.
And Sooner Freak, you're right. They put a jet boat motor on the ship, and actually today they landed the anchor. They landed the anchor today with Michael Fasusi to hold down that fort, especially the left tackle, to protect the future quarterbacks at the University of Oklahoma. It's a great day to be a Sooner. Thank you to Chief T-Bird for donating. Thank you to Crystal for donating. Thank you to Daniel Brooks for donating. Thank you to everyone who was just active in the chat. Again, if you want to become a member of the Discord and Sooner Surge Unlimited, check out the description in this video link or email us at ousportsroundup@gmail.com. We'd love to respond because we always respond. We won't leave you hanging here. We appreciate each and every one of you. And we'll see you tomorrow for a terrific Thursday night on the Sooner Surge.